Investing is often made more complicated than it has to be, and contrary to popular belief, an investment may be done with minimal effort and yield substantial returns by following a few basic guidelines. As a matter of fact, the method we will talk about outperforms 98% of all actively managed investments. And in contrast to any other option available, the less effort you put in, the higher your reward. Now, if you think that making money in the markets with the best index funds money can buy today is completely impossible or too good to be true, then make sure to watch this video all the way to the end. Hey everyone, I'm Fred. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's begin. You see, index funds are essentially just a large collection of equities you may invest in for a single fee to indirectly own a share of the entire market. If you wanted to invest in the entire S&P 500 index, it would take a few hours and cost you more than $92,000. Therefore, an index fund was developed to act as a proxy for the market and make investing easier. Even Warren Buffett said that an index fund with low fees is the best stock investment they can make for most people. In addition, investment in index funds has beaten the returns of the finest experts over a 20-year time frame. To put it another way, the odds of making money with this strategy are far higher than with any other stock market investment strategy. The additional benefit of this method is how little effort it takes to implement. You don't need to read the financial news or analyze stock prices, and you'll be able to switch things around frequently with only the ability to click a few buttons, and you'll be all set. And now, let's start with number 1, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, or VTSAX. VTSAX is meant to expose you to the US equities market, including small, mid-sized, and large-cap stocks. And for one low price, you may own a small piece of 4,100 different stocks. Since its inception in 2000, it has returned an average of 8.2% yearly, turning a $10,000 investment in 2012 into $34,000. Now, if you are confident that the United States economy will continue to thrive, you may choose to put all of your money into a total stock market index fund like this one. But how does this fund beat the S&P 500 in returns? The smaller companies included in this fund are expected to deliver superior returns. And when you add those to your portfolio, it begins to explain why you've been making a bigger profit. However, VTSAX requires a $3,000 minimum investment and charges a management fee of 0.04% annually. But if you're looking for diversification without the hassle of a minimum deposit, you may choose the Exchange Traded Fund, or ETF version, which is the VTI. Number 2. The Vanguard S&P 500 Index Fund, or VFIAX. These days, you can find an S&P 500 index fund at just about any brokerage. We'll focus on Vanguard because they're the biggest and were the first to launch an index fund in 1975. Their funds cover the gamut of investment strategies we'll discuss below. The S&P 500 is an index composed of the 500 most widely traded companies in the United States, and VFIAX was developed to mimic its performance. So, investing in this single fund is roughly the same as purchasing the stocks of the companies that account for 3/4 of the value of the whole stock market. Now, they have major investments in companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Nvidia, and Netflix. In addition, it has provided an annualized return of 7.9% since it was established in 2000. These indicates that an investment of $10,000 made in 2012 would now be worth $35,000 today. There are a couple of small drawbacks you should know about. First, The entry fee into the funds is $3,000. Secondly, the yearly management charge is 0.04%, which is 0.1% greater than the management fee of the equivalent exchange-traded fund, or VOO. There are two primary methods that can be used to monitor the market. Both use exchange-traded funds or index funds. You can dollar cost average into the markets regularly by investing in an index fund periodically, and one might invest precisely $1 to the penny, and everyone invests at the same price at the close of trading each day. However, this comes at the expense of a somewhat larger minimum investment with money that typically cannot be transferred from one brokerage to another without a very hefty commission. However, an ETF trades similarly to a stock. You can buy as many or as few shares as you wish and move them across brokerages as you see fit. Now, regular investments cannot be automated in the same way that index funds can, and the fund may trade at a premium to its underlying stocks during times of extreme market volatility. Put another way, when you trade an ETF, you are actually trading the basket that contains the equities. When investing in an index fund, you purchase the underlying shares. Number 3. The Vanguard Growth Index Fund Admiral Shares, or the VIGAX. This fund, which at first glance appears to be quite similar to the S&P 500, is focused on finding the fastest growing firms to maximize your returns. To put it another way, this is what would be left if you took the S&P 500 and eliminated all of the companies that had little growth potential. The 266 companies that make VIGAX are all focused on industries that have been thriving as of late. In addition, since 2001, this fund has generated an annualized return of 8.6%. It's probably not news to you that the fund has a $3,000 entry requirement and charges an annual 0.05% management fee. The same exchange-traded fund, VUG, costs merely $250 and has a lower expense ratio of 0.04%. Now, before we continue with this list, don't forget to try our Super Thanks, wherein your comments will be highlighted, or you could also join our membership program. And now, let's go back. We now have number 4. The Vanguard International Index Fund, or the VTIAX. This index fund tracks stock market performance outside of the US, including Asia, Australia, Europe, the Middle East, and North America's emerging economies. Everyday staples like semiconductors, video games, Alibaba, Samsung, Nestle, Toyota, and so on make up a sizable portion of the portfolio. The benefit is that your money rises even more as stock values rise as other countries become more developed. But here's the thing. Worldwide stock markets have been relatively stable over the past decade. Additionally, the United States has been on fire over the past 2 decades, consistently outperforming other markets. Nonetheless, we can't promise that will always be the case. Since its launch in November of 2000, VTIAX has returned nearly 5% annually and will pay you a dividend of about 3.37% yearly. That translates to a yearly profit of $337 for every $10,000 invested. However, similar to the previous Vanguard cases, they have the standard $3,000 minimum investment requirement. In addition, the expense ratio for investing in foreign equities is 0.11%, which is greater than investing in domestic stocks, and the expense ratio of VXUS, an exchange-traded fund, is slightly lower at 0.07%. Number 5. The Vanguard Global Stock Market Index, or VTWAX. The VTWAX is a stock index fund that holds over 10,000 different stocks worldwide. Their top holdings consist primarily of American corporations, but also provide exposure to some of the world's largest firms. It returned slightly more than 6% in 2021 and over 13% annually since 2019. The disadvantages are the same: a $3,000 minimum commitment and a management charge of 0.1%, making it one of the more expensive choices. However, if you switch to their ETF counterpart, VT, you would pay only 0.7% for essentially the same thing. So, what do you think of these index funds? And which of them would you consider buying this year? Let me know in the comments section below. And while you're at it, make sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons as well. Now, if you think Vanguard isn't your thing, don't worry, because I've got an alternative for you. Here are some Fidelity index funds you can choose from, so make sure to click this video right here. Thanks for watching and see you next time.